A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Tuesday, November 29th. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. Washingtonville Police and Blooming Grove EMS members had to be treated as a precaution at Montefiore St. Luke's Cornwall Hospital in Newburgh on Saturday over a concern that they might have been exposed to deadly fentanyl. Those 2 police officers and 5 EMS workers responded at about 5:45 p.m. to a report of a man in cardiac arrest in a residence on Burnett Way. As they were performing life-saving efforts, they discovered a suspicious white powder nearby. Out of a precaution that the powder could be fentanyl or another dangerous substance, the residence was evacuated. The 36-year-old patient was transported by Blooming Grove EMS to the same hospital. In critical condition, he later died. Due to the potential inhalation exposure of the 7 first responders, they were medically evaluated at the scene. Several of them started to experience different types of mild symptoms, and out of precaution were all evaluated in the emergency room. They have since been medically discharged. The investigation is continuing. There have been cases in the region of lithium batteries catching fire, and while they may be extinguished, they could reignite, warns Vinnie Tancaselli, the Orange County Fire Coordinator. Last weekend, an ICAD battery caught fire in a residential garage in the Valesgate Fire District in Cornwall, igniting a fire in a house. Tancaselli says there was a lithium battery fire in a Tesla on Palisades Interstate Parkway in Rockland County and other situations in Orange County.
We have had other instances with laptop batteries. We had a recent incident involving a solar panel type system, that home system that was purchased off of Amazon. It's a small solar panel that you put outside, and it takes energy, stores energy from obviously the sun, solar energy, and puts it into a lithium battery. We had an incident where that occurred. That unit actually caught fire.
The bottom line, Tancaselli advises, is to keep a watchful eye on those batteries. Dutchess County Court Judge Edward McLaughlin has ruled that accused murderer Paul Senecal is competent to stand trial for the murder of Melanie Chianese in May of this year. 3 psychologists had examined Senecal in October to determine if he was competent to stand trial for murder. 2 of the 3 mental health professionals testified before the judge that they did not think Senecal was capable of understanding the charges. After the first competency hearing, the 2 psychologists were provided additional information regarding the defendant's actions while in Dutchess County Jail. The 2 professionals agreed to re-examine Senecal. In November, the doctors returned to the judge's courtroom and testified he was competent to stand trial. On Monday, Judge McLaughlin, based on the testimony of the doctors, ruled that Senecal is competent and the murder trial will proceed. The vote by the Westchester County Board of Legislators on Monday to end the sale of flavored tobacco products is being hailed as landmark legislation by the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. Northeast Regional Director Kevin O'Flaherty says that not only will this landmark legislation save lives by protecting kids from the deadly consequences of smoking, but it also promises to advocate health equity throughout the county. He urged County Executive George Latimer to sign the bill into law.
The holidays are here, and at Galleria at Crystal Run, you can find something for everyone on your list. Over 1 million square feet of joyful shopping. Visit over 100 retailers, including many locally owned businesses. Check out brand new stores like Lovisa, Rue 21, and Box Lunch. Don't miss Visits with Santa this season from Black Friday until Christmas Eve. Sponsored by Town Square Media. For all the details regarding hours, photo pricing, and special events, visit GalleriaCrystalRun.com. And happy holidays!
5 people were injured, 2 seriously burned when fire ripped through a log cabin home in Wurtsboro at mid-morning yesterday. Fire Chief Dustin Graham says the blaze at 255 Gunner Falls Road was a difficult one to extinguish.
Seems that there's a little bit of challenge of putting it out. All 4 corners of the building were fully involved. Yeah. It's hot enough where there's cars parked over 100 feet away that are melted. They have melted under. So it was a hot fire.
The 2 seriously burned victims were airlifted to Westchester Medical Center. The other 3 sustained lesser injuries and were transported to a local hospital, Graham said. 2 dogs and a cat were rescued. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Congressman Pat Ryan, a member of the House Armed Services Committee and a West Point graduate, stood outside Thayer Gate of the Military Academy on Monday to urge support for the timely passage of the National Defense Authorization Act. The roughly $800 billion package has been approved in the House of Representatives but awaits action in the Senate, and Ryan is concerned that it could be held up.
When it comes to serving our veterans, our military families, we have to rise above this partisan divide that we have in our country right now and really come together as patriots and make sure that we deliver in keeping our country safe and supporting our troops and military families.
Orange County Executive Stephen Newhouse, a member of the Navy Reserves, said the NDAA should not be negotiable or political. A 30-year-old Wappinger Falls woman was killed yesterday morning when her 2020 Toyota RAV4 crossed over the double yellow line on Route 17B in White Lake and struck a 2006 Mack dump truck head-on. Sullivan County Undersheriff Eric Chaboti says the Dutchess County woman, identified as Angela Theodoso, was killed in the 9:07 a.m. crash. The driver of the truck, 60-year-old Michael Hotailing of Lake Katrine, was not injured. A vehicle and traffic stop on Route 17 in the town of Monroe just before 2 a.m. on Thanksgiving resulted in the arrest of a Bronx man on a charge of illegal possession of a loaded .380 caliber handgun. 32-year-old Matthew Boniford was determined to be impaired by drugs, resulting in his arrest. A search of his car yielded marijuana cigarettes, a white pill determined to be Percocet, and the loaded gun. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.